Great. We are on. All right. Thank you so much. Once again, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's such a pleasure to host you once again in the 5th edition of Inspiring Excellence series. I see the numbers are growing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so honored to have you here. The whole goal of this, or the objective is to grow a community of excellent professionals, that wherever you are, whatever you do with your life, excellence is everything. So when people want to describe you, when they think about you, they think about how you do everything excellently. And that's one thing that gives us a lot of joy, and that is what makes us so happy to be doing this every month. This is our 5th edition, as I had said, and this session is being hosted by Exquisite Professionals Hub, and that's what you're seeing on the screen. And so I'll take you through who we are, what we do, and what we believe in, and then I am going to invite today's speaker. So we are Exquisite Professionals Hub, and just a little about us is we are committed to engaging, equipping, and empowering you, whether you are in the corporate world, entrepreneurship, or stepping into leadership roles. We help people grow in their corporate life, and we create learning and networking opportunities like this one that help to build confidence, clarity, and real career growth. And the driving force behind Exquisite Professionals is the founder, and that is me, Univa Karaoke. And my bigger vision is to continue to inspire growth and innovation and build confidence and clarity in the lives of professionals in different industries. And so now we are so happy to know that you're part of us, and we also want to be part of your success story. And our tagline is engage, equip, and excel. These are just more than words, but and they are guiding principles. And so when you talk about engage, what we do is we create platforms that connect professionals across various industries and also generations. Think of it like a melting pot of mentorship and collaboration where strategic partnerships flourish. And then when you talk about equip, it means we focus on delivering high-level practical learning experiences. And I promise you today's session is going to be very practical. They're just not learning sessions, but they're designed to strengthen your skills and also to enhance your market relevance. And lastly, it's about excelling. And so this is where the magic happens. We empower individuals to turn insights into actionable performance. And it's all about advancing careers, strengthening organizations, and making significant impact in the marketplace. And so Exquisite Professionals is also an ecosystem serving a diverse range of individuals and organizations, from corporate professionals to entrepreneurs, to emerging talent, to university students who are ready to embark on their careers. And we also partner with organizations focused on talent development. Our identity is built on 3 foundational pillars, that is professional excellence, personal development, and lastly, purpose and impact. And so in summary, what we do is, first, we have leadership and professional development forums, like what we have every month, the Inspiring Excellence series that we've been doing monthly since February. We also plan for annual professional networking event. We're going to have one before the end of the year. We're also passionate about supporting young talent through our Young Professionals and Talent Bridge initiatives that we are going to begin very, very soon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our webinar. It is a free webinar. We call it the Inspiring Excellence series. This is our 5th edition. And we are privileged to have a wonderful lady in the professional space. Her name is Stacey Beth. She's going to tell us more about herself. She is an AI research consultant and also the founder of Lotus Oak Institute. And just as a summary, she's going to tell us more. She is as I said, she's the founder of the Lotus Oak Institute, which is an AI research consultancy. She's also a PhD student who's just about to complete her PhD, and I'm really, really proud of her. And in her in her studies at Pan African Christian University, she investigates how educational technology can help postgraduate students progress more efficiently and complete their studies. And she's very passionate about how people use AI. I see her use AI every single day, and I would confidently say that she has grown to be an expert at it. And so we are privileged to have her as our speaker today. Thank you so much, Stacey, for joining us. And before she comes on stage, why don't you just put your hands together and appreciate her as I stop sharing, show her some love as she comes on stage to take us through this session. Karibu sana, Stacey. We are looking forward to learning a lot from you. And as she's sharing her screen, let me just mention that we are going to share our feedback form on the chat. And if you want our post-session resources out of this session, please complete the feedback form, and then it will be automatically sent to your email. We also have a WhatsApp channel. We're going to share the link. We have our YouTube channel. We're also going to share the link. We are so happy to be connecting with you outside this platform throughout the month until our next session next week. And I don't want to keep talking, so Stacey, over to you. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, please send a thumbs up.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that is a very big introduction, and sometimes it's difficult to, you feel like hujafika bado, but I'm grateful so much. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to be part of this amazing organization, the Exquisite Professionals Hub. Thank you, Univa, for trusting me with this opportunity. It is very humbling to have been asked to speak today. And as I speak today, I am going to speak as one who is also learning. As she said, I am in the AI space, and it's very interesting that we are able to learn something every day. So even as we go through the session today, it's going to be, I'm hoping that it will be interesting for you to see how visibility is seen also when we talk about AI. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And in this fifth session, we will be talking about Beyond the Brand, which is becoming a trusted voice in your industry. So as she mentioned, my name is Stacey. I am the founder of the Lotus Oak Institute, which is an AI research consultancy, and I absolutely love using AI and helping people use it to make their lives easier, to make their personal and professional lives better. And in my research, that is, as you heard, I am in the process of doing my PhD, and it is in the tech space. So in that research, I'm able to understand how AI works, specifically in African postgraduate education. And so that happens to just get into my daily life. And so I'm very, very excited to be part of this process, this session today. So as I begin, the previous session, I don't know how many, if you were here in the previous session, please send a thumbs up. If you are here in the last session, yes, I'm seeing many thumbs up. That's nice. So in the last session, it was the very able founder of the Exquisite Professionals Hub who had spoken to us. And I have many notes which I still have with me until now. And she was talking to us about visibility and now how that translates into opportunity. And she mentioned that attention is what opens the door, but trust is the one that keeps you in the room. I hope you remember that one, because that one really stuck with me. Attention opens the door, but trust is what keeps you in the room. And so today we're going to talk about, now that trust has kept you in the room, what happens when now AI joins you in the room? And as we talk about that, we are going to see how, I know right now there's a lot of AI talk, and it seems like this very foreign concept, and sometimes it can feel intimidating, but it is it can be a very interesting part of your daily life. So it is to see how to make it as practical as possible. So let us see how AI works within the space of visibility. So this evening, there are three things that we are going to do, and I hope that I'm going to be able to achieve this by the end of the session. This is what I hope we'll be able to do. The first thing is we are going to see the ladder, what the ladder looks like from visibility to trust, because it's one thing to be seen, but it's a whole other thing to be trusted. So that's going to be the first thing. The second thing is that we're going to see, to understand the shift now, understand what AI quietly changed about personal branding. So it's very possible for you to use AI to now create your personal brand. How many here can confidently say you have a personal brand? Who has send a thumbs up if you feel that you have a personal brand. Yes, we are growing. And I hope that by the end of this session, we are going to have more thumbs up. Yes. The third thing we're going to do after we see, and for those who haven't put your thumbs up, I'm hoping that by the end of this session, you're going to be able to say, I have, or I am in the process of creating my personal brand. And then finally, there's this whole talk of how AI is taking over everything. By the end of this, I am hoping that you're going to see how AI is not really taking over everything. There's aspects of humanity that are really remaining uniquely human. And I hope you're going to see that by the end of this session. So in the last session, we had seen how, now this is the ladder I was talking about, and Univa had taken us through this, and we even saw that in the previous sessions before what she talked about. So we're going to look at it one step to the next until we get to being trusted and being referred. So the first thing is being seen. That is asking yourself, do people know that you exist? And I want to assume that if you're in the professional space, or even if you're still a student, you're being seen wherever you are. The second thing is being recognized. Now, recognized is you're not just seen. Somebody's like, oh, yeah, I think I know so and so. So do they know what you do? So it's not just they know your face, they also know what you do. The third level is being remembered. Do they think of you when it's relevant? That means when somebody is asking about a task and they want to do something, can they say, I think I know so and so is able to do it? The fourth place, and I hope you're asking yourself these questions, because I want today's session to be as practical as possible. I want us to call ourselves to a meeting. As we are going through this meeting, let us also call ourselves to a meeting, and we're asking ourselves these questions. The fourth level is being trusted. Would they endorse you? That means somebody is going to say they are able to put their name to it and say, I know so and so is able to do this, and they trust you to be able to do it. And now, after being trusted, it's very easy for you to get to the next level, which is being referred. Somebody else can say, I know so and so is able to do this, and I think that this is the person for the job. And so as we look at those 5 levels, ask yourself, where are you? And I'm hoping that by the end of this session, we are going to see steps on how to take ourselves to the next step in that ladder. So what makes your voice trusted? And there are 5 things that we can look at for you to get to the point of saying, people trust me. The first thing is you need to own a lane. What does that mean? Be known for one thing before many things. It's very easy for you at the beginning of your professional life, or in a job, that sometimes, you may just be taking one day after the next, and you're not quite, taking it, you're not intentional about the professional steps you're taking. So it's important that you own a lane so that you're known for one thing before you're known for too many things. It's important that you're able to have a niche. Of course, you're learning many things, but understand what things that you can do really well. The second thing is to take a position. So have a point of view and not just information. What do I mean by that? Be, I don't want to say philosophical, but think through what you stand for, what you believe in. What is when somebody asks you, for example, let me say in my field, when I'm talking about AI, sometimes I'm in spaces where somebody will say, me, I don't trust this AI thing. I don't trust it at all. I don't want this thing. It is taking over all this. And you know, it's a valid point. It's a valid point to think that it's taking over. But what makes you say that? Make sure that whatever position you're taking, it is a position that you're able to defend. The third thing is to demonstrate, don't claim. What does that mean? It means that your skills need to defend what you say you can do. You don't need to be out there saying, I'm a very good salesperson. I'm a very good salesperson. I'll give you an example. When we were growing up, my dad used to tell us, if I have to come to this house and I have to tell you, do you not know I am your father? Then I have failed in my role. And that is the same thing in the professional space. If you have to be all over being loud about, do you know I can do this? Do you know I can do this? It means you still need to settle down and master that skill. The fourth thing is be useful before being interesting. Have your skill down. Make sure that whatever it is that you're brought in to do, you're able to do. Make sure you're bringing the value that you claim you're bringing to the table. Before you're out there, making friends and creating connections, when you're saying this life, dikujuana, before you're making connections, make sure that you're, putting your skills together so that you're useful. The fifth thing is consistency compounds over time. Consistency compounds. That means trust is not a one-time event. Trust comes when you do one thing and another thing and another thing, and somebody is able to get to the point where they are able to say that you are predictably consistent. I hope we are still together until there. We're together until there? Yes. I was taught that you have to make sure that you're together with the class before you continue. The next thing we're going to look at is the trust equation. What does that look like? So in the last session, we had talked about the opportunity equation. And for those who can remember, it was about credibility, reliability, and intimacy. What does that look like? Credibility is about you knowing what it is that you know your stuff. So you have your skill down. You know what it is that you're doing and you do it well. Reliability is, do you do what you say? When you say, I am going to meet you at 8 a.m. in town, are you there at 8 a.m.? How many are there at 8 a.m. when they say 8 a.m.? How many? Again, we are being introspective. We are correcting ourselves. We are learning. And then thirdly is intimacy. Do people feel safe with you? And that's very important, because when somebody is open with you and they are able to understand what it is that you need from them, then they are able to trust you. You can't trust somebody who you feel is going to judge you. So when you put together credibility, that is knowing your stuff, knowing your, having your expertise, you put that together with consistent actions over time. You put that together with being an emotional, safe place for people. And then now you lower your self-orientation. Self-orientation is when you ask yourself, what's in it for me? The trust equation is about making sure that credibility, reliability, and intimacy are high and your self-orientation is down. At that point, then people can trust you. So it's not just enough that you're all these three things. If your self-orientation is also high, that means it fails to balance the skills. So that is the trust equation. So now we are going to the second part, which is about what now AI coming into the room. So AI changed the cost of everything. And I'm sure this one we can agree. We have seen what content is looking like online. We've seen suddenly everyone can have, 100 images for whatever they have to say. People right now have very polished posts. You're hearing somebody talking the English they're talking online and you're wondering, Kamau, is that you? Are you sure? And it's very easy to wonder, what's going on. Suddenly everyone has something to say and it's looking wow. And you're wondering, okay, now if everyone is able to talk like we went to Harvard University, where is my edge, right? And if it's no longer rare, if now your branding and your voice and your content and it's not looking, all of it is looking polished, you're wondering, okay, now everyone has moved up in their bar, so where is my place? So now it is about it has been optimized so much. Somebody saying we need a break from AI images. Let me tell you, I was even having this discussion with somebody today. And we were saying, hey, these chat GPT images, hey, they look nice, but they all look the same. You're looking at, I think it was two images. One was for a function that was, one was for a children's home visit, and another one was for a men's meeting, and they looked the same. And you're wondering, yo, guys, the AI is too much. It's too much. So now what happens when everything is so optimized that now people are becoming invisible? Yeah. Maureen is saying it's actually annoying. It's so true. It becomes, because we have the same tools, we have the same data, we have the same suggestions, and everyone is now at the same level. So the better you optimize, the more you blend in. That means the more you're using these tools, it feels like the more we are all looking the same. So then what happens? In this session, I hope you're going to understand there's one thing. Okay, from this session, there are several things, but there's one thing particularly for this session I want you to know that AI cannot fake, and that is judgment. And whatever you do, whether it is in your personal or your professional life, one of the things that is uniquely you is your judgment. Outside of good English, outside of now ChatGPT making everyone a graphic designer, your judgment is going to remain yours. AI cannot reproduce it. Your point of view, what you have lived, your local context, your life experiences, your personality, your tastes, that remains your own, and that cannot be reproduced by AI. And my hope always in my field is that people understand and see that if you leave AI to do all the work, then you're going to be like everyone else. It is for you to remain the master and not the slave of AI. So AI produces, but it is you who interprets. That means you remain to be the one giving instruction. Use it for work, but not for judgment. That means don't leave AI to think. Think of AI as, and I think this is the best analogy I've ever had. You are a CEO of a company, and AI is going to make all of us CEOs. You are a CEO of a company, and you have the best intern that has come out of the best university in the world, and they have the best credentials, and they're doing really well. You are the CEO of that company, but this is your employee. He is fresh from school, or she is fresh from school. Yes, the skills are there, but it is you to give instruction on where you're directing those skills. You don't want the intern running the organization. You remain to be the brain of that organization. So how can you use AI to build your brand? And now this is the meat of the meeting today. Yes, where it helps and where it harms. Now, these are the two sides of using AI for your brand. You can, on one hand, and you can use AI to draft. For example, you're drafting proposals, or you're drafting a blog post, or you're drafting whatever, you can use AI. That's a very technical task. You can use it for repurposing or reformatting. That means you have one document, you want to change it into a different type. You can use that. You have research and summaries. For some of us who have to read so much for PhDs, let me tell you, AI has come in very handy. I'm able to read a lot more in a way, in a much shorter time. The fourth thing is speed and admin. Speed is, you have this thing that you need to do. Think of it like a calculator. You don't stop being a mathematician just because you're using a calculator. Calculations are a very technical bit of being a mathematician, but the understanding of how mathematics works, how it applies to different scenarios, that remains yours. So what should you keep for yourself? Even if you're using it for all these things, what are you keeping for yourself? Number one is your opinion. Please remember these things as we go to the next, the things that are coming forward. Your opinion is yours. Don't tell AI, what do you think about this? That's not how you use AI, please, guys. Please. Not what you think about this. Your opinion is yours. Your stories are yours. Your local context is yours. Your no. What do I mean by no? When you get an output from AI, please read through it. Don't just copy paste and off it goes. Read through it. Like, go back and forth with it. You read through it and you reach somewhere, it's like, this doesn't sound quite right. Go back and say, this is not, this doesn't sound okay. I was thinking of this and this. Let it give you another output. Use AI conversationally, not transactionally. In fact, I should write, that is, wow, I feel like I've just shocked myself. Okay, I should write that down. Use AI conversationally, not transactionally. Make sure that you're going back and forth with it. You're not just taking the output and you're keeping it as it is. So think of these two prompts. The first prompt, which I think many of us, we can see, some of us, we've been guilty of this, where you say, write a LinkedIn post about leadership. That is a very common thing you can put on ChatGPT. And my God, it will give you a very good output. You will sound like, you're a better PhD student than myself. It can give you a wonderful output. But in this case, what does it do? It has taken over your judgment. It has invented your opinion. It's come up with a fake story. Have you ever seen a post somewhere and somebody is like, when I was going to Sijui, where you're like, when was this? We are here asking questions. You're wondering, you've been here with us. But now look at it another way that you can do that. When you're writing a strong prompt, first thing, sit and think. What is it? When you're thinking about leadership, before you look for ChatGPT, before you're going anywhere, make sure you think through it and see, what is it that I'm thinking? What is it that I want to say? What is my opinion? Because really, honestly, let's ask ourselves, what do you think about leadership? If somebody was to ask you today, what do you think about leadership? And if you don't have any thoughts about it, please, let's leave it alone. If you don't know what it is that you want to say about leadership, please leave it alone. Get to a topic that is more in your lane, which is fine. It's okay. We are not good at everything. The thing you're good at, and we talked in the beginning, what are you known for? Credibility. Credibility is very important. That thing you're good at, now that's what you're bringing here. So number one is your insight. Sit down and ask yourself, what am I trying to say? Second thing, what happened? Use real specifics. Don't talk about, this time when I had gone to Lamu County and I was talking to the Sijui and that time you have never passed at the river. I will not name names. The third thing is your angle. What is it that you're actually thinking about it? There's different perspectives that you may have. What is your own perspective? The fourth thing, don't invent. Tell when you're giving the prompt, make sure that you say don't invent details. The fifth thing is your voice. And this is something we're going to talk about in a few minutes. What is your voice? And you can use that through your past works. If you've written anything online, those of us who used to write things online before AI came to help us, let's go back to those posts, because it really tells us what was in our minds, what was our voice, what were we thinking, what were our perspectives. Use that. And then finally, the format. So when you look at this now, this is a strong prompt, because now by the time you're going to ChatGPT, you're saying your insight. I want to write a LinkedIn post on leadership. Insight. This is what I think about it. What happened? So what are your real specifics? Talk about like real things that happened. And then your angle. This is my perspective about it. Then mention, please don't change my opinion or invent details, because anytime you don't give sufficient information, AI is going to fill the gaps. Always, it's going to fill gaps. So you have to be clear and say, don't fill any gaps. Third thing, you've seen the plus. I hope we have seen the plus button on our ChatGPT, on our Claude, on our Gemini. That plus there where you're able to attach files. Please let's use it, because it gives context. I hope we are using it. Attach documents, attach articles, attach whatever it is, so that it has a context within which it's working. And then finally, format. Don't let these things go on forever. Say, I just want to know it in 200 words. Don't let it write a whole thesis and you just wanted something small. So make sure your judgment is not disappearing. Now, there are many questions we can ask. I hope at the end of this session, there's a feedback form that has been posted. Some can post it again. For those who may not have seen it, please post it again. What's going to happen is when you fill the feedback form, you're going to be able to get a copy of this whole conversation that we have had, a summary of all the notes. But secondly, like we said, this is a practical conversation. You're going to have all these questions available to you at whatever time, and I hope you're going to take your time and go through each and every one of these questions. So, like we said, when you're using any LLM, so ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, all of them, make sure it is conversational. So go start a session, and then you're asking yourself, what do you think makes you memorable? What problems are you solving? And we learned this in the previous session again, because we are building, this is a series by Exquisite professionals, and this is the 5th session. In the last session, which was the 4th one, we were learning about visibility. And in visibility, we learned about what makes you memorable and brand clarity questions. My tongue was about to do something there, but I have resisted that temptation. Otherwise, I would not have lived it down. Anyway, so there are these questions, when you look at them, you're able to go through it with AI and it's able to tell you, you're able to tell it. It's going to ask you these questions and you're going to be able to respond. So this is what I want you to do. Yes, there are many questions, but this is what the prompt is going to look like. Please don't be scared by the many words. Yes, there are many words. But if you want the best results from any LLM, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, please do not be afraid to give as much information as possible. I had a webinar 2 weeks ago and we're talking about use these platforms like they are absolutely dumb. Like they are stupid and they know nothing. And so it is for you to give as much information as possible so that it's able to give you back an output that is relevant for you. So what will the prompt look like? I don't know how many have read or listened to or were part of a webinar like mine or another that was talking about prompting in AI. Anyone who's learned about prompting? Prompting, yes, I'm seeing a few thumbs. Good, 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 good. Yes, prompting. Okay, Maureen, yes, we will learn about prompting. Yes, here is a very detailed prompt that's going to help you when you're coming up with your personal brand. It is based on what we have just seen here, the brand clarity questions and what makes you memorable. So what does the prompt look like? You're a brand interviewer. This is now you typing, but this is going to also be in the feedback form. So you don't need to write this down. You don't need to take a photo. You don't need to do anything. It's going to be in the email you're going to receive once you fill the feedback form. So please make sure you fill it in. You're going to get very good information about all this. So you're a brand interviewer. Your job is to help me discover and put into words my professional brand by asking me questions, not by guessing or answering for me. You remember we said it's very important that you don't allow AI to fill gaps, especially for very critical information. So here are the rules. Ask me one question at a time, wait for my answer before the next one, and then start broad, then probe deeper. Use follow-ups like, say more about that. Why does that matter to you? Give me a specific example. Again, it can be very conversational and you're going to get the most out of this. Never suggest answers or put words in my mouth. Otherwise, what's going to happen? It's going to give you a very generic prompt. If my answer is vague or generic, push me to be more specific. So make sure that you see now it's very, very detailed and it's making sure that there's limitation within which it's able to work because AI knows a lot about a lot about a lot. So you need to really narrow it down so that it works for you. And then you say, cover these areas in order. What am I known for and what do I do exceptionally well? So it's going to ask you, and then now it's for you to now think. Let me add something here. At the bottom of ChatGPT, there's first the text box, but on the side there's the microphone. I've found in my use of AI, when I'm trying to think through something, sometimes I can have hour-long conversations with, I use Claude mostly, and I have those conversations because when you use voice, what happens is that it feels like you're talking to a person. And when you're talking to a person and they're asking you questions and they're making you think, you're really, your energy is taken away from having to type. It's now just talk. And when it's asking you these questions, you're able to really sit with it and think. So you see all these questions. What am I known for and what do I do exceptionally well? Who I help and the real problem I solve for them. The words I want associated with me and how I want people to feel working with me. All those questions that we were seeing in the previous slide. Then ask roughly 12 to 15 questions in total. When we are done, now this is what you want the output to look like. When we are done, synthesize my answers into one-line positioning statement in the form of I help dash, achieve dash, through dash. We learned this again in the previous session. 3 words I should be known for. The one lane or topic I should own or post about consistently. You see now, you're getting your voice, you're getting the essence of what it is about you, so that you make sure that even as you're using AI or you're using these tools to come up with the things now you're posting online, for instance, as a professional, you want to be posting on LinkedIn. You don't sound like everyone else, because once you go through this, then it means that you have a reference point that says this is what I stand for and this is what I sound like. That's very, very important. Then after all that, so keep your own talking to a minimum, because also ChatGPT can want to tell you a lot about how it knows a lot of things. The point is to draw out my judgment, not to replace it. Then you say, begin your first question now. So what happens? You're not going through 10 questions at the same time. You have one question at a time. Think of it as a conversation. Then once you have that set, once you have that created, because it will remember what the kind of conversation that you had, then you can now test it out and say, let me try one idea. So for instance, if you are in the let's say the sales business, if you're in sales, let's say of clothes, for instance, if you're selling clothes, you have this one idea about what the sales market is like in Eldoret City. You take that one idea, which is yours, because now your voice has come out. What you stand for has come out. Now you can change that. You can now take that and now you write something genuine using ChatGPT or using AI, and you make sure as you're asking questions, you say, in my own voice. In my own voice, I want to write a post about this and this and this. Again, you go back to, this is what I think. This is my perspective. Do not fill in the blanks for me. Let it be me. I want a post in 100 words. Now it will sound like you. I hope we are learning so far. Are we together? Have you learned something that you will try out? We're okay? Yeah. Good. I'm happy. So now you can change that into many formats. You can take the same thing and say, I want 500 words on the topic of primary school education in Kenya. If you're a teacher, for instance, and you have 500 words, you can take the same thing and you want to put it on X. And on X, say you want to just use 100 words, for instance. Same thing, condensed to 100 words, but it's still in your voice. You post and it will have your judgment in there. It will have your voice in there. So what happens? The thinking remains yours. It happened once. Yes, you have this long idea about what you want to talk about. And then now, even the ideas, you can also put that into AI. You can say, I want to write a post about primary school education in Kenya. And then now tell ChatGPT, please ask me questions about it. This is what I'm thinking of. And you will go back and forth. By the end of a 30-minute conversation with ChatGPT, you have a very, very nice understanding of what your judgment is, what your idea is. That way, it is yours. It is not everyone else's. Because what's happening right now, we have 27 million Kenyans online. We have 15 million on social media, where we have all these images generated that all look the same, right? All of them that look the same. And we have WhatsApp and TikTok, and we have Instagram, and we have all these ninis. And we look at it, and people's feed, people who didn't used to post a lot suddenly have a lot to say. So the feed is crowding really, really fast. And yet, Kenya's national AI strategy wants local judgment on different things, not imported content. That is part of what the government is working towards. And I can say, let me say I put this in because I am a researcher. So these are things that we look at. Right now, we want more and more of genuine things. And even before even the government, how many here would like to see genuine posts online? Me, I know I'm one of them. Like, I want to know what you really think. I can't relate with you, and I can't understand your experience, and I can't know what it is that you stand for if the thing I'm seeing online is the thing I saw. I'm seeing Dorcas here. Dorcas had posted it 5 days ago. The next thing I know, Maureen is posting it. The next thing I know, Sam is posting it. The next thing I know, Juma is posting it. Same thing, different words, right? We need to have our own voice. Yes, AI is making things simpler, but let's not lose our judgment. So I hope we are still together. Yes, I'm seeing the emojis, so I'm happy. I'm glad we are together. And one way I've seen this, 2 weeks ago, like I said, we had a webinar on AI is not ChatGPT. And when I put this out there, people kept asking me, what do you mean AI is not ChatGPT? What do you mean AI is not ChatGPT? I was like, it really is not. It really is not. And I think that was provocative when we had people sign up. We had more than 200 people sign up. And they were not signing up really because they knew me. I think it was just, people want to understand, what do you mean? And when you have a unique idea and you have a unique perspective, people will buy into it and will want to know what that's about. So make sure that your uniqueness is coming out in whatever it is that you're doing. Because sometimes the audience that trusts you first isn't always the one that pays you. And that is true. That is very true. The ones that trust you may not be the first ones to pay you, but understand that trust and revenue may not always be the same thing. People have to trust you before they can pay for what it is that you have to offer. AI is giving us an opportunity right now to put out what it is that we believe in, to put out what our perspectives are in a way better way than we could be able to 2, 3, 4 years ago. So make sure that you're using it in a way that still retains your voice. So I want you to ask yourself, where in your brand are you letting AI think for you? In 1 minute, just think about the post we have put out. Where in your brand are you letting AI think for you? I hope you're trying to think as well. So don't let AI think for you. Be the one that is directing AI. Now, 3 honest tensions. We're almost done. First thing is that the first thing that we are seeing right now, the tensions mean that the things that we are seeing more and more in our current space. The first thing is people who say AI for branding is now becoming a cliche. Like we've said, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. People are now everything. They are graphic designers now. They are people, what do you call, thought leaders. They are, everything. Things we thought there were specific people who could do it. Now everyone is able to do it, but now you're asking, where's the substance? Make sure your substance is real. But secondly, also don't be a purist. Don't be the people who say, me this AI thing. No, it is taking. The thing people always say, the most people who don't want to use AI, they say AI is taking jobs. It's not taking jobs. The people who are taking these jobs are people who can use AI. So make sure you're learning how to use AI in your own space. AI genuinely helps reach and consistency. Third thing, you still need visibility. Regardless of whether, right now our content spaces are being taken up by all these different things, you still need visibility. So make sure that you're taking intentional steps towards being trusted. So now what should you do? We had talked initially about owning your lane, having a voice. The first thing is, when it comes to owning a lane, what's the one question that you can answer? In your own field, if you're a teacher, what's a question that you can answer? If you're in the IT space, what's one question you can answer? And then now from there, build a voice profile. Like we said, think of things you used to do before AI was there. And even if you don't have any written content, have a conversation with these LLMs. They'll really help you think through things you didn't even know that you could think through. And then now use that to create your voice profile. Those questions we've asked, that is now your voice profile. That is your brand. Then lead with judgment. Always start with, what do you think, before asking AI, what do I think? Because once you have a goal, then you will know that you have reached that goal. Somebody said that if you don't know the destination, any road will take you there. Make sure that you're first starting with, what is it that you have in mind? Then now let AI help you refine it. Fourth thing is, atomize one idea. So just have one concrete insight, and then now you can change that up. You can put it in different platforms. You can do, this When your organization is looking for somebody to talk about something, you're there because you're not just pulling things off the internet. You have thought through this idea. You understand what it's about. If you're called on, so and so, you're the one speaking to us about this. Think through it with AI. Don't let AI tell you everything. Know what it is that you know for yourself. And then the fifth thing, you audit for sameness. What does that mean? It means you go back and paste and ask AI, what here sounds generic? I'm sure for those of us who, okay, I think because I work with AI every day and most of my work is in writing, there are those phrases that I'll come across online and I'm like, I know where you got that one. It's easy for you to find what is generic when you keep, when you have your own judgment, you won't fall into the trap of sounding generic. But the more and more you use it, the more you'll also be able to spot what isn't authentic. Then now you do this over and over again. Start again with another idea. Understand what that's like. Right now, AI will help you learn a lot about a lot if you are open to it. And that is what I hope that we are going to be able to learn today. Make sure that you're going through these 5. And like I said, you're going to be able to, once you fill the feedback form, that is sent on the chat, you're going to be able to get this resource which has all these different things. And then use that prompt. Please make sure you use that prompt. This week, how many are going to use it this week? I don't. The way we used to be asked in class, how many are going to use it this week? Yes, good. Let us use it this week. Come up with, right now, it used to be very expensive to say, oh, I have a personal brand. Right now, it is the cheapest thing to come up with a personal brand. Make sure that you're using tools that are available to you. So this week, make sure, fill the feedback form. You're going to get that document that has that prompt, and you're going to be able to use it to create your own profile, so that as we are hearing you online, we are sure that you actually had gone to Malaysia to that seminar you're saying you went to. So finally, as I finish, AI can imitate your work. Like we said, AI can imitate your work, but let your judgment be the brand. At the Lotus Oak Institute, we always say AI should support your thinking and not replace it. So thank you so much for allowing me to be part of today's session. I'm very excited to have spoken today. I hope you learned something. Over to you, Univa.
Wow. Thank you so much, Stacey. I was just taking it all in. Wow. That was an amazing session. Thank you. I've learned a lot. I just I've been thinking here we should have done this for 1.5 hours, but oh well. Next time. Thank you. I've learned a lot. I've actually been writing notes, and I just want to quickly pick out a few statements that are my learning points today and this coming month. One is use AI conversationally and not transactionally.
I will patent that statement. Let me tell you.
Is my take home. Don't let AI think for you. And I also love this one. People have to trust you before they pay for your skill. Wow. And that has been our conversation today. Our topic was beyond the brand, becoming a trusted voice in your industry. And so we do hope that this session has been helpful to you and that you are going to apply everything or at least something, this week and this coming month. I don't know if somebody has a quick question, we have like about a minute. You can use the chat and then Stacey will be able to answer. If you have any feedback, we'll really appreciate for you to fill the feedback form to help us with to know what to talk about in the next sessions. And just as a summary of what we've done so far since the first session, we talked about the excellence mindset, and then we talked about resilience at work. And remember, I said earlier that this is a series and every session is connected to the previous one. And then in the third edition, we talked about branding for success, which was mostly about visibility. And then on our fourth edition, we talked about elevating your personal brand. That was last month. And then today we've talked about beyond the brand and how to become a trusted voice in your industry with specific focus on AI. And so thank you so much, Stacey. That was good. That was great. And so next session, we are going to talk about finding your voice. Now you have, you know how to be visible, you have created your value, you have elevated your personal brand. We have talked about how to become a trusted voice. Now you're trusted, you've entered the room with AI, as Stacey said. Now we're going to talk about how to find your voice, how to speak with clarity, how to communicate, how to build your influence so that people can know you, people can know the value that you carry, people can know exactly what you bring to the table. I can't believe I've said that, but yes. So that will be our session next month. Don't miss 30th July. Please have it on your calendars. Fill the feedback form. You're going to use your email addresses and your phone numbers to communicate this once the session registration link is ready. And we are hoping to have you in that session. Once again, thank you so much for attending today's session. This has been our 5th edition. Our speaker, Stacey Bett. I would just love for you to just send the virtual claps to her. As you say, thank you so much. She also hosts online sessions, webinars. I don't know when the next one is going to be, but we'll also share that on our platforms, and we hope that you're going to attend. If you want to learn more about AI, Stacey is your person. You can search her website, the Locus Oak Institute. You'll be able to get more information about what she does. If you're a student and you need whatever form of support that she can offer, I'm sure she'll be available to do that for you, of course, at a fee. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful night. The phone number on your screen is our contact. If you want to reach out to us even before the next session, we'll be happy to respond to you. Exquisite Professionals Hub on WhatsApp, that's our WhatsApp channel. Exquisite Professionals Hub on YouTube and on LinkedIn, and exquisiteprofessionalske@gmail.com is our email address. Thank you once again. Thank you for joining this session. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you're in the city of Wasingish or the city of Eldoret, have a warm night. Thank you. Feel free to leave the session. Asante sana for joining. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.